Nota is trending again, believe it or not. This time, after going on record to claim that he knew Sim Dope way before AKA. Nota claimed that he went to primary school with Sim Dope and explains how he got the scar on his face. Sim Dope got the scar in primary school while climbing a tree with me. I was climbing a tree and he climbed higher than me and fell. At Renford House, a boutique primary school. Wow, a boutique primary school? Didn't know that there's such a thing as a boutique school. I don't know, maybe I don't know things, but I didn't know. This is new to me. I'm learning here. Before Keenan ever met Sim Dope, I was in primary school with Sim Dope. He went to get his stitches. After the second break, he was back in school. That's Sim Dope, said Nota. Nota says Andile Mpisane has nothing on Sim Dope, believe it or not. Sim Dope had a soccer team at 16. Today we talk about Andile Mpisane being chairman in their 20s. Sim Dope was doing that while he was still in high school in Mpumalanga, said Nota. He also spoke a bit about Sim Dope's wealthy background. He was one of those privileged kids whose father had worked so hard at the upper epilogue of business. He is the owner of the Lions, the first black owner of the rugby team. He was still the most humble person, and that's why Keenan had to honor him, said Nota. Well, there was a lot of reaction after this interview with DJ Spoo, where Nota says he knew Sim Dope way before AKA, which we found him trending at the highest list on Twitter. Let's have a look at some of the reactions on Twitter. One user Twitter said, "One day Nota will claim that he was amongst the men who were crucified with Jesus, but due to politics, his existence was edited out." Another Twitter user said, "Didn't this guy once say he also went to preschool with Ramaphosa with all his lies? Is DJ Spoo seriously listening to Nota?" Said a Twitter user with laughing emojis. Before AKA even met Sim Dope, so it's a competition now of who met Sim first. "I swear this man was there when the waters opened for Moses and his people," said a Twitter user. Wow, that's some hilarious reaction on this. It looks like, looking at the responses, people really don't have trust anymore in Nota or what Nota has to say. So what's your take on this one? Please let me know your thoughts on the comment section. I think, let's have a look at the actual clip where DJ Spoo was interviewing Nota. Please take a listen.
I come from a politically protected family, and from the politically protected families and their kids, Abu Sim Dope, who I was with in primary school, he was my senior.
Very well, by the way, at the memorial. Shout out to Simza.
Sim Dope got that scar on his mouth while climbing a tree with me. I was climbing a tree with him, and he climbed higher than me, and he fell off the tree at Radford House, a boutique private school. Where we were taught that lateral thinking, the Edward de Bono. I was in primary school. Before Keenan ever met Sim Dope, I was in primary school with Sim Dope. He fell out of that tree and onto a concrete block, which had steel reinforcement bars, which went through his mouth and then out his cheek. And they had to saw it off. Not one tear dropped down Sim Dope's eyes. I watched him the entire time. They removed that steel rod from him, right? They removed him from the concrete that it was attached to after sawing it off with the vibrations of the saw. He did not cry. And he said, "Big boys don't cry." And then he went off to go and get his stitches. And then after second break, he was back at school. That's Sim Dope. Now, Sim Dope had a soccer team at 16. Sim Dope did all the dog. Today we talk about Abu Andile Mpisane in their 20s, being chairmen of soccer. Sim Dope was doing that while he was still in high school in Mpumalanga. He was one of those privileged kids whose father had worked so hard to reach the upper echelons of business as one of the first black people to reach those levels. I mean, he's an owner of the Lions as the first black owner of a rugby team. You understand? That's his father. And he was still the most humble person, the most humble human being. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why Kiernan had to honor him. He had slight dyslexia. Couldn't keep up with the pace. So I'd hook him up with crib notes. Back in college, he couldn't keep up with the tempo. So I had to hook him up with crib notes. So